Welcome to a world of mystery. A world so dark that you can barely see. A world where the macabre becomes a reality, and your reality becomes the strange and unusual. This is an October edition of the Cain Stevens Paranormal Super Show.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Cain Stevens Super Show, the Super Show in all the land. It's October, it's spooky month. It's basically like the Super Bowl for me, so it doesn't get any better than this. We're doing spooky content. We're doing all that stuff. So for 1 month only, we're bringing back the Cain Stevens Paranormal Super Show, and I can't think of any better guests than the super guests that I have coming on right now. I met these guys while I was doing an investigation with my family for fun, just to. But we went to an extremely intense place, and without further ado, I have my guests. I want them to introduce themselves so that people know. So please, one at a time, try to tell me your names or all at once, whatever you want to do.
All right, I'll go first. I might as well. My name's Abby. I met him at the spooky place, the Sallie House.
Yeah, the spooky place, exactly.
The spooky place. I didn't know if you want me to say it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we also, me and one of the other people in this call also went to spend the night there too.
Indeed, I am Leo. I also met Cain at the Sallie House in Atchison, Kansas.
Yes, sir. It was
not planned at all,
wasn't it? Yeah, I was with my family, which was probably awkward. Like, what's this guy bringing his kids for?
Wasn't bad.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it ever since. It was like, what are the odds that when we come here, we meet a ghost hunter?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's a pretty active place, pretty famous place, It was just it worked out. I was nervous. And then you guys had somebody else with you, right? You guys could you tell us who you are as well?
Hi. My name is Harmony. I also went to the Sallie House where I met Cain. Me, Abby, and Leo also all went together. We had another friend of ours, mostly my friend, Vincent. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it on the call, but we'll see. But yeah, it was... Well, yeah, I brought him along.
Unfortunately, he was not going to be able to be on the call. I have talked to him since then, off and on, but for whatever reason, he couldn't do it. So Vincent is here in spirit, and you guys can kind of speak for his experience. And if he wants to come on the show some other time, he has an open an invitation to do so. But thank you guys for being on the show. I always give my guests at least an ovation, if not a standing ovation. So I'm going to give you guys an ovation for coming on the show, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. I'm extremely pumped because we got to get down to business now. We got to talk about this place, dude. There's something about this place, right?
Oh man, it's just intense all around.
It was like, you go in and it immediately hits you like
I've been in a couple haunted houses throughout my lifetime, but that one was different.
Yeah,
the energy in that house is just heavy.
It is. It has a feel to it, man, like nothing I've ever felt before. It feels weird from the second you go in. Like it's like going into your grandma's place and sitting on her sofa when she don't want you sitting on the sofa. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it feels that way instantly when you walk in.
Like that house just has a feel about it that you just sense that something in there does not want you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be honest, it was my first ever haunted house, a real haunted house experience, and holy crap, it was insane.
I've lived in a couple haunted houses, and I've never had the experiences I had at the Sallie House. I've never had happen there.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd see shadows out of the corner of your eye, maybe see an apparition or two, but whatever was in that house was not friendly.
No, it wasn't.
Especially when we opened the, you remember when we opened the basement door, you know,
Oh
even
my God.
we didn't go
Yeah.
down there, but we opened it and it was like, we were holding our instruments and stuff was going off like crazy. And it was like whoosh, it was like a whoosh of like craziness going on. Like, I have no idea what's down there. I probably don't want to know, but I got to talk. We'll get till your overnight, but I want to talk about that first investigation for now.
No,
So
yeah. Especially since I had the spirit box on hand. Holy
yeah,
crap, I really wanted to, like, I know it was dangerous down there, but like I kept going to that door because there was the
Same.
most activity at that door. It was so terrifying. Holy crap. Like
absolutely.
I think at some point I went right up to the door. We were just trying to provoke the thing, and at some point like we heard some like footsteps or some rummaging down there, and then we just heard a big slam behind the
Yeah.
door and it moved.
Right.
That was probably one of the scariest moments. Holy crap.
Well, yeah, my
Well,
wife said something about hearing clicking or some weird shuffling or movement coming from that area, which is really interesting because on some haunts, they say that like demonic entities, for example, and I'm not trying to dramatize it, I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
for example, not trying to be Zach Bagans here from you know, but they talk about demons talking to each other in cliques and stuff like that. So that's at least interesting because it wasn't like the furnace was kicking on or anything.
Yeah.
There was nothing. It was pretty silent down there except for whatever the hell was moving around, right?
Yeah. Holy
yeah.
shit.
Speaking of moving around, so that same day, like the first time we were there, I set my phone in the kitchen and I had my EVP app on there. I didn't expect to get anything,
Mhm.
but I was flipping through my audio recordings, and one of the audios I hear a simple 3 knocks,
Yeah.
and none of us were anywhere near the kitchen at all. I hear 3 knocks, plain as day.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out a way I could send you that, but I accidentally deleted that audio recording. And I was so mad at myself
It
for that.
happens. It happens more than you know, losing
Um,
audio and stuff like that. Dang it.
that the awkward moment, man.
Yeah, that awkward moment when you realize, damn, I just deleted that.
Yeah, it was
Imagine.
probably it was the first ever audio recording I've ever had of anything remotely haunted. And I'm like, this is compelling for me. This is amazing.
Yeah,
And now it's gone.
right.
No one's ever gonna hear it. Well, it's great.
So had you guys used equipment before when you went in there? Because I went in there with quite a bit of equipment. I mean, I had some things, things you see on TV. Have you guys used that stuff before?
No,
No.
Nope.
that was the first time I've ever used any of that equipment. And
Awesome.
it
Me
made me
too.
want to buy my own equipment. So I did.
That's what
Yeah.
it does, man. It's like getting a tattoo. Once you buy some ghost equipment, you just start buying it like crazy.
Yeah, no, I've seen a couple like other shows where
Yeah.
they have all this equipment, and I always thought that was really interesting, and we're just going in blind. Like I've never had an experience like this before, and then just the fact that you happened to be there and like I got to use the spirit box and like hear everything,
Yeah.
that was amazing for me. Oh my
Yeah, you got
God.
to hear some not too friendly words from something of that nature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell
that thing
me tell
really
me
didn't like
about that. What
Ian.
what
Oh
did
my
you hear?
gosh. Oh,
Oh
so
my
funny.
God, that thing really didn't like Ian, like multiple times since he was mainly provoking the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I swear to
As you
God,
do.
the amount of times I heard the not so friendly gamer word.
The
Oh,
N word.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And it
yikes.
referred to him as the black one. I
Yeah.
was like, oh no, this thing really doesn't like him at all.
And who wants a racist ghost? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Bad
Right.
enough you're
right.
dealing
Out
with
of
their
all
crap. Yeah.
I, you're
Oh,
dead now. How can you still be prejudiced?
I
Right.
mean, considering the times, it makes sense.
oh, and also when we were standing next to the Sally painting, you're like, "Oh, is that you, Sally?"
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
called you
I was like,
retarded.
oh, is that? Yeah, I was like, oh, is this a
If you
picture of
think about it,
Sally? And it was like, yes, retard. I'm
if
like,
you think about
wow.
if you think about it, Harmony, you're about the same height as her.
Yeah, maybe I provoked some unwanted
Well,
feelings.
I just know that whatever entity was in that house, one of them was friendly to you two.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed to
It was
like
not
us pretty well.
friendly. It was not friendly to us guys at all.
No.
Right. Yeah, I don't
Right.
know if you remember, I actually got scratched during that.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but I'm gonna play a little bit of audio for you guys
Oh.
because something I was using an
Ooh.
app just to test it. I don't know if you guys have used the Necrometer app, but I was using that just to try it out because my spirit box was it was being used by Harmony, and I thought, what the heck, I'll do this. So I'm just gonna play this and see if you guys can hear it. Okay.
Sweet.
It'll be a little rough at first. So this is me whispering to my wife about my neck. This just happened. I'm not lying. Yes. I can feel it burning. Okay, so as my neck is burning, I start feeling this burning on my neck, and I mean, like, I know I didn't scratch myself because I had a body cam on, so I went through the footage, and it's not like my hands went up and I was scratching myself. I felt this strange burning, and all of a sudden I had this massive like red spot on my neck, and so like a few hours later, after we had left and everything, the red spot had cleared, and I had 3 scratches on my neck. Which I can't explain. I don't. But so what I was playing for the audio is when I was using the Necrometer, which is a spirit box app, just to test it out to see if it's worth the crap or whatever. As I was saying that, it said I see, and then a little bit after that, it continued on, and then it said please go.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, and I just thought that was a pretty interesting response coming from something like that. Like, for one, if it is like queuing off of a database or something, it wasn't necessarily going off of what I was saying per se, and then it was just flat out telling us like, please go. Like, I don't know if it had enough of me, you guys, or what.
Yeah.
It
No,
probably
was
yeah.
there, didn't want any of us there, I felt.
it
Oh yeah,
probably
for
had enough of
sure.
my crap.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
had
you
it
were
with him
provoking the crap out
especially.
of it. To be
Fucking
fair, I
Mario.
think I did kind of provoke it in the beginning. A little after I got the spirit box, I went upstairs to where that room with the bed and that like little rocking chair that said don't touch because glue is drying or something like that. I
Mhm.
thought,
Yeah.
okay, what the heck? Let me see if it's gonna react if I try to touch that chair. I was literally less than an inch away from touching that chair, and immediately I just hear what's like kind of like a male voice immediately scream, "Stop it!" And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. I'll back off now. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not
Like
touching your chair, I
it scared
promise.
me. Yeah, I literally was like, I'm good. You're good. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. And I just left the room, but clearly didn't like that.
So were
Well,
you
I
guys
mean,
able to go into separate rooms? I know it was kind of tight quarters because there was so many of us there, but were you guys able to go into rooms by yourself? What kind of
I mean,
feelings did you have?
it wasn't really a room, but I was in the living room by myself for a while,
Yeah,
just sitting there, feeling around, and I kept looking over at the kitchen. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything, but I felt plain as day something just watching me from the kitchen. Like
right,
it was peeking around the corner, and I could just sense it. Just eyes right on the back of my head.
right.
Like for me personally, I was like I could not leave the kitchen. Like there was something that was just pulling me, and like I just wanted to be as close as I could to that door, the basement door. I just kept I could hear like footsteps or like some like just knocking, but like it was I was just drawn to it. I just don't want to leave at all.
Dang.
I didn't really explore the house that much.
So it was drawing you guys kind of to the basement area, like making
Yeah.
you want to go there or even go downstairs if you could have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense considering what I guess some people went missing in that house.
Yeah, it's
I
very
feel like that's probably
interesting.
why.
Do you guys have you seen kind of some of the ghost shows and different things throughout like YouTube and all that from the Sallie House prior to this?
Uh,
Um.
I watched the Ghost Adventures episode of the Sallie House.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched that with them.
It was entertaining. I mean, all Ghost Adventures shows. I mean, I know like in the paranormal world, people give it a bad rap, but let's be honest, those of us that are talking crap, we're still watching it. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Right.
extremely entertaining. Like I don't care You know, everyone hates Zach Bagans and all this stuff, and I even give him a bad rap. But at the end of the day, well, I watch it for Aaron myself, but that's it.
Aaron's awesome. I love Aaron.
You know, like in early episodes, it was like, what are they going to make Aaron do next? You know, like what are they going to bury him in a coffin, or you know, what the heck are they going to do?
Aaron was just a punching bag. Like they had
Yeah.
him doing all of these things, and then the tables turned because they had Zach all by himself.
Yeah.
It's a wild show, man. But I love all that stuff. I don't know if you guys watch Pluto or anything, but now they have the Ghost Hunters, the Ghost Hunters channel, so you can watch like all the old Ghost Hunters, like the classic episodes.
Ooh.
Oh, it's the best. You can watch it all day long.
That's so cool. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. So I'm flipping between that, Star Trek, and the Godzilla channel pretty much all day.
Hell yeah. Oh,
It's
dude.
not too bad, man. Pluto's got it going on. I mean, especially if you don't have cable, but you have the internet.
Yeah.
That's where it's
You're
at.
right.
Yeah. So
I'm
let's talk. I want each one of you guys individually. I don't care who starts first for that first investigation. Just tell me the thing that stood out to you the most. So whoever wants to go first.
I think what stood out to me the most was
Whoa.
just the negative feeling in that house. Like just the raw feeling of something bad happened here, and it just stained everything.
Yeah. Like for
I mean-
me, oh, sorry. You
Oh
go
no,
first.
no. Well, I was just going to mention since you mentioned that, I think personally, I have another experience, but I just want to point out the fact that you and Vincent, and I think Cain, you said so as well, that like you could smell sulfur.
Yeah.
And I've known about that in past, that I've been told that sulfur, that typically means demonic presence. So the minute I was told that, I'm like, oh, yeah, I could sense there was definitely some kind of really heavy presence that was more than just, an average spirit. Like it definitely was demonic.
Right. It definitely did have a smell. I mean, I would be interested in doing like more scientific tests, of the house to see why that smell is there, but there was definitely some sort of smell in that house. It wasn't just like a stale
sure.
house either,
Yeah, exactly.
And what
I
did
think that
you
probably
think,
stood out.
Abby? What did you have in particular that stood out to you about this house?
Well, I was originally, well, I know it's an older house, but I was originally going to say how that dusty smell of the house, like it just once I left, it was still on me. Like it just lingers. Like even like I remember being like after the visit, like just being at my house, I would just randomly get hit with the smell. I was just like, where'd that come from? I haven't been there in a week. It's so weird. Like it just follows you, I guess. Oh, that reminds me of an experience I had, and you're at the end of the interview, if you don't mind me sharing.
Oh no, by all means. What I was going to ask you guys, speaking of following you, so did you guys have any? What you felt like was an attachment or strange dreams, or like just thoughts that didn't feel like they were your own after you left?
It's fun that you mentioned that.
Oh no.
Well, on multiple occasions after we left, I would just get the feeling like somebody was just watching me in the room that I'm in when nobody else was here.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept having these strange dreams that I've never had before that weren't mine.
Right. That's not that uncommon. I want you to know that. Like, it's a serious, when you go into a very haunted place, it's not that strange to have. And maybe it's your subconscious, but I don't think so, because I mean, sometimes when you have these dreams, it feels like you're a completely different person. Like you're having somebody else's dreams, or sometimes you'll think of the most vile things. I mean, when I lived in a haunted house in the past, I would have the weirdest dreams of like a horse with red eyes, like a black horse, and all the weirdest stuff.
Ooh.
And it's like, and it was like, it was like I would wake up completely terrified. I would have night terrors every
God.
single night at this place. Like, did you experience any of that? Any of you?
Personally,
Well,
I
it wasn't
didn't. I know Leo did.
It wasn't necessarily a black horse, but I did see a figure with red piercing eyes in a couple of my dreams, it would always be in the same corner, and it would just be staring right at me.
Right.
And I would wake up with migraines. I woke up a couple of times with some new scratches and bruises on me that I didn't have the night before.
Mm-hmm. It seems like it really took to you, man. Like it seems like you got the worst of it.
I did say I wanted all the smoke, and I got all the smoke.
He was literally taunting, like, for like weeks prior before we went there. He was literally just like, "Come on, you fuckers, come and get me!" Like, just taunting them. Like,
Yeah,
oh
weren't
my
you
God.
having dreams prior, like right before we went?
I kept
Yeah.
having dreams about the house before even going to it.
Wow.
Yeah, it just gave you that sense of like maybe
also
I
kept
shouldn't
hearing-
go.
I kept hearing in my head, "We're waiting. Come on."
Yeah. They were waiting for you, man. Well, I don't believe in coincidences in general. Just like, us being there with you guys there, like I'm going to be honest, when we were booking the thing and we saw that it was like a block of 10 people could possibly be there. And then we saw there were going to be 4 of the people. We were like, damn it, we're not going to be able to investigate anything. So I do want to say thank you guys for being so cool and letting us investigate and understanding, that we weren't trying to step on your investigation. We were just there doing the same thing you were. Like, I'm trying to show my kids. I wish I hadn't taken them to the Sallie House, for that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I had prior taken them to the Villisca Axe Murder House before that to kind of like pregame for this one. So I thought if they can handle that, they can. I had no idea what we were in for at the Sallie House.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Yeah,
aware of the
no, it was-
Villisca Axe Murder House? Is that on your
Yes.
bucket list?
I
That
heard
is
of
on
it,
my
when
list
you
of
told
places to
us.
go. Also, a place that's a little bit closer to me right now, I really want to go to. It's in I think it's in Liberty, Missouri,
Okay.
and it's the Missouri State Penitentiary.
Really?
Oh
God,
yeah, we should totally go to that for sure.
I want to go, but I'm terrified. Oh shit.
Like
Yeah,
we're amping it up. We're
Yeah.
going from haunted houses to possibly murderers, just the worst depraved people that have died there.
Yeah.
Like we're
Like you might not
asking,
make it out alive this time.
we're asking for trouble, but
Yeah, I mean you mostly.
it'll be
Yeah.
fun at the same time.
It could be. How close is it to you guys? I mean, you don't have to reveal where you're at, but roughly how
It's
far
it's only an hour away from us.
Okay. But you guys are in Kansas, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So you guys had heard about the Sallie House and Atchison and all that stuff forever, right? You guys probably, that's like a bucket list area for people to go, correct?
Well,
Yeah,
personally for me, I never even heard of it. I mean, I remember like briefly from like Ghost Ventures, but I didn't know that was in Kansas until I actually Ian was talking about it. I was like, oh wait, no, there's an actual place we can go to. Oh, let's fucking go there,
Yeah, I didn't know about it either. It was Ian who brought it up and told me I should get tickets, and I was not gonna miss out on an opportunity like that. I mean, I've never been in a place like that before, so yeah, it was because of him that we all got to go.
Absolutely. Well, I think I saw it on like Haunted Towns. It was some show like that where it was talking about haunted towns, and it had listed Atchison as like one of the more haunted towns in the country. And so, like, of course, it piqued my interest because we live in Lincoln, Nebraska, so it's really not that far from us either. So it was like, it seemed perfect for us to go there. But I'm definitely planning on going back with my investigation team that I'm with. It would be cool to set up some stuff with you guys too. If you guys wanted to venture into Iowa, you guys could definitely come with us to Villisca or Malvern Manor. Those we just investigated Malvern Manor last week, and I think you guys would really dig those places. They're good.
Yeah, I remember you and I were talking about going to the Villisca Axe Murder House.
Yeah. Are you guys interested in doing an overnight? Like if we get an overnight set up, we could all get in.
I'd be down for another overnight.
I'd be down for that too. That'd be
I've
really cool.
never had an overnight. I would have, but I didn't want to die in the Sallie House. I'm a little scared after that first experience. Yeah, I really thought they weren't gonna make it out, to be honest.
You're the
I'd
only
love
one
to
with
try
any
and do an
reason. The
overnight.
rest of us are like, yes, of course we're doing the overnights at all these
Yeah.
places.
Of course. Of course we want to do the overnight. And then there's Harmony. Yeah, I like living.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
living.
I value my life. I had that first experience, was like, yeah, they really didn't like you. I don't want to be a next target.
See, I don't think they liked me because I was taunting. I took everything out of ghost etiquette and threw it out the window. They're like, never taunt entities. Don't do it. But I'm like, but I want to make sure they're actually here. So I'm going to run my mouth. And sure enough, it bit me in the ass as we expected, but
Yeah.
I got the proof that I wanted.
I
Well,
mean, yeah, like,
did you learn your lesson is the question that the listener is going to want to know. Did you learn your lesson, or will you provoke more?
I will say I will not recommend you provoke because it is not smart, but I cannot confirm or deny that I will not do it again.
God damn it, Ian. Oh,
yeah, because like, you definitely were provoking it. I don't think it really had any animosity towards like me or Abby, but I do
What?
remember at the end it did say our names. Like
yeah.
it
Oh,
said
yeah.
my name and then it recognized Abby's name. I was like, whoa, hi.
Yeah, that's
From the
actually what I want to talk about.
from
For earlier.
articles that I've read about the Sallie House, the main targets in that house are always the males. It's never the females.
Right.
Because if you look at the original people who lived there, I cannot think of his name to save my life, but he said he would have all these thoughts about just doing the most terrible things to his wife,
Mhm.
and he he almost got pushed over the balcony, like the staircase railing.
Mhm.
So I think that's why you guys didn't have as negative of an experience as, say, me.
Yeah.
Well, Vincent can't really say that he had a negative experience because he didn't. It was just me.
It was mostly just you, but I do
Yeah.
think he did say something about like he had a cold chill
Oh,
on
when
like
he
his
was sitting on the
shoulder.
couch.
Yeah, I said like it felt like someone was kind of rocking the couch slightly. I was like, oof.
Or like sitting right next to him, and you could feel
Yup.
like the cold air right next to him.
Well, didn't you
Yeah,
guys leave the
exactly.
room at one point and point out to me that the cushions were like completely messed up when you went back or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, because
cushion
we were
moved.
we were all at the door. I think it was a little right after we heard that like slam on the door. Ian, like we could see him, like he left his phone on the couch cushion, and we could
Yeah.
still see him from that side of the room. And then we suddenly hear him go, guys. And like he didn't move or anything. Like we looked over there, we walked over there, and it was just moved on its own. No one else was down there.
Yeah, it
Like,
looked
holy
like
crap.
someone grabbed like the cushion for your like your bottom and like just like tossed it aside. Like
Yeah.
it was really whack.
That's crazy, man. And so Harmony, I let you use the spirit box with the headphones.
Yeah.
So what exactly did things come through there that you were like blown away by? When you heard it, you were just like, yeah, that's definitely something saying something to me or somebody.
Well, yeah, because like, so obviously it picks up like radio signal, right? So
Right.
obviously there was a lot of static, but throughout the entire time, like I mainly heard what seemed like a more male voice. Every now and then I could kind of hear a more feminine voice cut through every now and then. I could never make out words from her, but it was mainly a male voice and it talked a lot. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, said a lot of rude things about Ian, but I
Yeah.
mainly remember obviously the chair thing where it told me to stop it, not to touch it.
Right.
At some point, I think it was when me and Vincent were walking back downstairs and I heard it say husband. And I was
Oh,
like, oh crap, because I had mentioned that, my husband wasn't able to go because of work. So that's why I
yeah.
brought Vincent. So I was like, oh no, no, don't leave him alone. He ain't involved in this. How'd you know that? Or like, especially, I think one of the things that really blew me away was towards the end because obviously our time was up at 3, right? But I didn't know
Yeah.
what time it was. Last time I checked the clock, it was like maybe 2:30-ish. And out of nowhere, I suddenly hear a voice telling me 3 p.m. And
Yeah.
I immediately am like, hey, Ian, what time is it? And he tells me it's 3 o'clock. And I'm like, holy crap, I am freaking out right now. So I asked it, I was like, do you want us to leave? And it just starts
Yes.
saying, leave, go now. And I was like,
Get
okay, yep,
out.
we're gone. We're leaving. It's time to go. Okay.
Well, and that's interesting that you say that, because we had some of the same things come up on the stuff that we are using too. We had 3 o'clock come up.
Yeah.
I know that specifically. We also had, the please go. There at one point, it came through and said, "This is my home."
Oh,
These are the things that we kind of wrote down. As we went through it, I kind of had a bunch of people listen to it, so that the more ears you get on the audio, obviously it's better. Everyone kind of hears things differently.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did have some of the REM pod went off on its own a couple times. We had our cat ball sensors go off on their own in spots. And we tried to test it by stomping around it, making it go. And honestly, those things are, I'm not going to say they're definitive proof of a ghost, but I will say that it's pretty odd when they go off, because you have to physically move them to make them go off. But I mean, I'm glad that I brought all that stuff, and I'm glad that you guys were willing guinea pigs to take all that
It was
more
a
than
stuff
cool
and help
willing.
me.
experience.
Well, it was just awesome to meet somebody in that world, because you see
Yeah.
all these guys on TV and whatnot, and you're like, man, it'd be really cool to meet a ghost hunter, and
Lo and behold,
and
it
As
what
happened.
fate would have
it's
it,
just
he
so
happened to be
shocking
there at
to
the
me
right
that
time.
we couldn't have timed that better. Like,
Oh
of
yeah.
all the people we could have got stuck with, we could have got stuck with, sniveling snot-nosed Brad who's like, none of this is real, or a stuck-up person who thinks that they know everything better than we do. But no, we got stuck with probably one of the coolest people we could have met at that time.
Well, I appreciate
Right.
that. You've got to be talking about my wife or something, not me, right?
Oof.
No one
Wait, is
refers to
she
me
not a
as
believer?
cool.
Oh yeah,
Like,
she's a
like,
really a
isn't
believer,
she?
isn't she?
What,
Yeah.
what's that? My wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife is she believes, but she's like a super skeptic of everything. Yep,
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
that's great to have people like that,
Yeah, that's all
because
right.
if we're all
Absolutely.
excitable and we all think that just things are happening all the time, it's great to have someone there to kind of like reel us in, because I get excited about the evidence and all that, but then I'll show it to her and she'll be like, oh, that's a bug, that's this, that. It's like, oh, thank God someone's reasonable here, because it's not
Yeah.
like I want to
Right.
fake evidence. That's
Like,
not the case. I'm just so excited about it because I love this type of field. I mean, I want to catch something for the sake of the science of it. I think this should be an accredited science that they should study, because I think it's just as interesting as anything else that they're studying out there, if not more.
right. It's kind of
Exactly.
funny that you mentioned that because I kind of wanted to bring that up. I don't remember exactly what it said, but I remember at some point, like in the middle of it, I think we were still down, like in the kitchen. I think you and your family were upstairs,
Mhm.
but I thought I heard maybe you might have been talking to your wife or something like that, and I suddenly heard a voice mentioning your wife over the phone. I can't remember exactly what he said. He might have said like wife or woman or something like that, but I do
Yeah.
remember pointing that out because I heard it and I told Ian about it, and I was like, "Hey, this is what it just said." And that's when he brought it to me, like, "Oh, I think she might be a bit of a skeptic." And I was like, "Oh, maybe he doesn't like that. Oh no."
That could
Well, I
be.
mean,
My biggest fear was, as pale as my wife is that you guys would mistake her as a ghost. You know what I mean? But she's pale. Let's be honest. I mean, she's got, she's a reddish haired girl. She's pale, and if you turn the corner or whatever, sometimes I know I've been scared in my own house turning the corner and seeing my wife
Oh
in
my
a
god.
room.
oh God.
Right.
Oh, it's just you, honey. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you were a ghost.
It spooked me a
Yeah,
bit.
like, cause I definitely like it definitely helped having the spirit box so I could kind of be more aware of the situation because like anytime it said things like even though I'm still was, kind of fearful, I didn't want to push its buttons. Like
Mhm.
I also made sure that like it knew my intentions. And every time if it's anything, especially since Ian was provoking it and he might have deserved whatever was coming to him, I still was making it clear to the ghost, like I was talking to the spirit and was basically saying, like, hey, leave them alone. I'm
That's
here. I'm gonna make sure
agreed.
nothing's gonna happen to anyone. Or like when it
That's
made
agreed.
a comment about your wife, I was like, hey, it's all right. Just leave her alone. It's fine. You're gonna
It's
be okay. We're not hurting you. I just
kind of
made that
rude,
presence
Harmony.
known the whole time.
You say, getting what I deserve. Wow, what kind of friend are you?
I'm just saying, like, as maybe, the entity or wherever, like maybe that's
Now,
what
no,
it was feeling,
I'm
but
not going to
I just
disagree.
want to make sure that
I'm
I
not going to
was
disagree with
protecting you
the ghost
guys.
feelings. I'm not going to disagree with them. They were probably valid. I was being kind of a dick.
Hey there, fellow follicle enthusiasts. We have a sponsor that's about to make your beards go wild with delight. Brace yourselves for the one and only, the elegant Sasquatch. Are you ready to unleash your outer beast?
Cain, I've been waiting for this moment my entire bearded life. But tell me, how can the elegant Sasquatch help us awaken our inner beasts?
Oh, my hairy companion, the elegant Sasquatch has a treasure trove of beard products that will have your whiskers partying like it's the wildest night in the forest. From their aromatic beard oils to their beastly balms and buttery concoctions, they've got everything you need to make your beard sing with joy.
I can almost hear my beard belting out its own rendition of I Will Survive.
Your beard is in for a treat, my friend, and here's the best part. Every single product is handmade with love. Picture this, a team of Sasquatch artisans rocking their aprons and wielding their grooming tools, crafting beard goodies that will blow your mind. It's like a hairy fiesta of craftsmanship.
I can see those Sasquatch artists dancing with their combs and trimmers like they're on a hairy stage.
Absolutely. These bearded maestros pour their heart and soul into every bottle of beard oil, every tin of balm, and every tub of butter. They're like the Michelin-starred chefs of the beard world, creating culinary delights for your facial hair.
My beard is salivating in anticipation.
Well, get ready for your beard to do a happy dance because the elegant Sasquatch has you covered from all angles. Their beard oils will make your whiskers as smooth as a buttery glide. Their balms will sculpt your beard into a masterpiece that would make Da Vinci jealous. Their butters will leave your beard softer than a cloud made of marshmallows, and their washes will cleanse your beard with a scent that's fresher than the waterfalls in the Rockies.
My beard is ready for the bearded revolution.
You can find the Elegant Sasquatch on Instagram and Facebook. They're ready to share their hairy wisdom, showcase their bearded customers, and entertain you with memes that will make your mustache curl with laughter.
I can't wait to join the hairy community and bask in the glory of their bearded memes.
So, folks, get ready to let your beards run wild. Unleash your outer beast and head over to Facebook and Instagram to find the Elegant Sasquatch. Trust me, your beard will thank you, and you'll be the envy of every bearded creature in the virtual forest.
Here's to smelling like a wild creature and embracing your inner Sasquatch.
Cheers to that, my fellow bearded brethren, and stay elegant with the Elegant Sasquatch. All right, everybody, we're back from my my little sponsor break. It's great to have a sponsor. Sponsors, all you bearded gentlemen out there, get those beard balms and all that good smelling stuff from the Elegant Sasquatch. So, all right, everybody, I've got once again, I've got my friends from the Sallie House, and I've got they've just got a ton of things to talk about. I'm really excited to hear about their overnight, but it's kind of uncharted territory for me because I obviously wasn't there for that, but I was kind of communicating with you guys about it, as it was happening a little bit. So please, I'm dying to hear. Tell me what happened, or did you guys have something happen prior to that you were doing? Please tell me.
Well, before we did the overnight at the Sallie House, there's a cemetery not that far from the house, the Mount Vernon Cemetery, and I wanted to test out the spirit box because it's the first time I've ever pulled it out of the box.
Yeah.
And I was using it around the cemetery, and we got some pretty good hits on it. Nothing negative, but I asked the question. I was like, "Hey, should I be worried about my visit to the Sallie House tonight?" And plain as day, yes, is all I hear back.
Really? Are there people? Is there someone buried there that has ties to the Sallie House? Do you guys, or what?
I
drew
have
you to that?
No idea.
we have no idea. We
Yeah.
went into there without knowing anything about it, but I mentioned the name, and it's like they knew. I wonder if it's because before we were there, as you know, Zach and his crew, they went to the Sallie House and they walked through that same cemetery.
Hmm.
So maybe the entities there picked up on it and they knew about it. But man, it was just cool to see that the equipment in,
Mm,
to see
Well,
it
yeah.
work.
So what spirit box did you get? I mean, did you get like an SB7 or something?
Yeah, I have the SB7.
Okay. And you have the so you have it exactly how it is. Like you didn't alter it. Like something I did was I opened it up and took the antenna off so that I could get rid of any radio contact. So basically it's just sweeping white noise. So then if I got something come through, I felt that would be at least in my theory, I'm not saying that it's not, but to me that would be the most compelling, because then you could cut out any when the skeptic comes out and they say it's just a radio station coming through, that's James Brown's voice
Yeah.
or something coming
Mhm.
through. But I think
That's-
it's all interesting. I mean, think about how it's sweeping anyway. It's a pretty big coincidence when it answers you clearly, right?
yeah.
It was really cool.
But no, I got mine as it was. I didn't alter it at all.
Okay.
But that's a good idea now.
Yeah, I would think
There's
so.
there's a video on YouTube where a guy does it. That's how I learned to do it. And it's ridiculously easy to do, because basically what you do is the front part, like the front plate, is essentially just a sticker. And so you get under there with like a really fine, like small flathead, and you pull that thing out carefully, and then you just unscrew it. And then when you pull it open, you just unscrew the antenna, pull it off, put everything back together, and boom. I mean, it's like it never happened. So yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'll show you guys. I've been doing some if I can move around for a second. I've been building my own spirit box setups here. So
I've been seeing that on Facebook.
I have this here. Here, I'll try to get it. There we go. So basically, I have an amp here. I have like a noise gate and all. You probably can't see it because of the stupid green screen, but basically, I'll send you guys a picture of it. But what I did was I hooked it up to Bluetooth also, so that if you want to try out those apps and everything, because there's some pretty good apps out there with pretty compelling stuff people are putting out there. It at least gives you that option, or you can go through your in-air, will amplify and get rid of like all the background noise from the SB7. So if something comes through, it will basically kick out all that, and it'll just be a straight voice when it comes out. So
that's cool.
I could definitely walk you through how to build that too if you want sometime.
That would be cool. I'd like that.
Yeah, of course. They're super expensive. I basically just looked at the prototype that they have out there from all like the expensive ones, and I just copied. I'm a musician, so I already have all this stuff. I have all the chords, I have the pedals, I have all that stuff anyway. So for me, it was an easy build. I had an SB7, so I was like, why don't I just put it all together and see if it works? So
hell yeah, just a little invention.
yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to make a billion. I'm not trying to make any money off of it. I'm just trying to show people who are interested in this field, like, you can do some of this stuff. Next thing I'm going to try to do is build my own REM pods, because those are really expensive. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are. I think I paid almost $350 for mine.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, it's worth it. It's a good piece of equipment.
Oh yeah, no.
So you bought all sorts of stuff, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bought an EMF detector.
Yeah.
I bought a REM pod. I got an EVP recorder, which I do have some audio on there. I just want to be able to get it. I want to be able to get it uploaded so I can send it to you.
Yeah. I would love that, man. I would love any evidence you guys want to share. If you want me to share any of my evidence or the stuff, I would be more than happy to share the audio. You can go through all of it or any of it, man. You can look at it. You can check out some. I'm going to be posting some like evidence videos on our on Debunked Paranormal on that from my group. And so maybe we'll see some stuff on there. And yeah, but I would love to share all this stuff with you guys.
Oh, you should also remember that picture? Someone took a picture of like the living room with a TV, and we found like a face, like an apparition in the TV. You should totally show that on there too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You guys got a picture of that, right?
I think I still do. I don't think I ever deleted it.
I still have all of my pictures from the Sallie House.
Yeah.
Same.
So what got all you guys before we move into the overnight now, what got all you guys into this? Have you lived through hauntings? Have you been in these situations, or are you just kind of like enthusiasts who, are just interested in the paranormal? What got you into it?
Well,
Well, I've
oh,
lived through it. I've
I
lived
kind
through it
of
my
have
whole
too.
life.
Like for example, when I I swear to God, I saw some. I was a young child. I was like sleeping in my bed, and I woke like I feel someone breathing on me. There's no fan on. Like I know there's no fan on. So I thought maybe my stepdad was trying to pull a prank on me. So I turn around to look to see who's behind me, and there's just I can't even see through. It's just a freaking black like shadow person just standing hovering over me in my sleep. Like I've had that at my old house I used to live in, that I grew up in, and then like I also had like I would be just downstairs or something or upstairs even and just hear like cabinets opening and closing, or like my friend when she would spend the night she would like she would just hear people going up and down the stairs. It was just spooky. She never liked the house.
Yeah. So you've had things. How about you, Harmony? Have you had things happen, or are you just kind of into it?
So I'd like to say that as far as I'm aware, I've technically not really had a whole lot of experiences. The only one of the main reasons I even decided to go with them when they brought it up was because I only have like maybe one memory, and I was like really young, probably like 3 or 4 years old. But so when I was much younger, so my parents, they are Christians, and they kind of had this whole thing where if they had someone they knew that was experiencing some stuff in their house, they would essentially like go in and I don't know what to call it, but essentially like they pray over the house and make sure everything was good.
Right.
And I remember they did this once, I think it was after like a apparently like a family had died in this house and
Oh shit.
another family was moving in, and so he's like,
Wow.
hey, would you guys like to check this out and maybe pray over it and make sure if it's good for us to live in and all that. And so we went there. I only have a vague memory of it, but like it really impacted me, like just being in that house, like even pulling up to it immediately, like I could sense something was off. And I'm just a little kid and I'm already like really aware of it. And just being in that house, like I knew something was there. And I always thought that was really interesting for me. Like it impacted me as a child. And I've kind of always been like interested in this type of stuff. I haven't really like obviously like not done a whole lot of research, but like I in the past I've seen like people who have like cameras set up in their home if they think their house is active, or like furniture's being moved around, or they hear a voice. And I've always been really interested in that type of stuff, and I've always wanted to check it out for myself to see how I feel about it. And this experience was definitely really real for me. Like it really hit a spot, you know.
Right. It's fascinating. I thank you for sharing that, because it's fascinating to me how everybody kind of comes to this, because throughout history, people have been talking about ghosts. They've been speaking about spirits, and it's in all books. I mean, it's in some of our oldest texts. It's in the Bible. It's in the Quran. I mean, it's all over the place. Like they're talking about all of these cultures are talking about spirits and things. So I just find it completely fascinating that everybody kind of has some sort of story that they feel is pertinent to this type of field. So thank you for sharing that. I just wanted to kind of get a background on you guys on what you guys have felt over time. So
Right.
with that being said, I know Harmony, you weren't there for the overnight, but I would still
Yeah.
I'm dying to hear what happened on the overnight. So please share with me all the wildness that took place when you stayed in that god awful house, right?
Oh God.
Oh boy, where to begin?
um.
So, like when we got there, it felt like it did when we met you. It was like a normal day for the time being. Like little things would happen here and there. It was around 10 o'clock. I would have to say that everything in that house amplified. The house
Yeah.
at night different feel.
Yeah,
It's terrifying. Holy crap.
Like the moment it knows you're staying there, it changes.
yeah. And it was
So
just the two of you, just so we could paint the picture for the listener. It was just you and Abby there.
Yeah.
yes,
Wow.
I mean we had the owner show up there, but that's
Yeah.
because the air conditioner in the house broke,
Mhm.
so he had to fix it.
Coincidence.
Which funny story about the air conditioner. So
Yeah.
it was working fine after they fixed it the whole day, and then the moment that I said, "Hey, we're staying in this house overnight," it died out completely. Like
Yeah,
it would
was
not come
so
back
hot.
on. It quit working.
It was like feverish, like gonna have a heat stroke. That's how hot it was in the damn house. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can imagine with the smell and everything too.
Ugh.
It was something, man. It added to it, didn't it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You could taste it in your throat, like
But
the smell. Oh my god.
but like the hour tour of the house, Abby didn't get anything. Nothing bad happened to her at all.
Not really.
I was the prime target once more.
Mhm.
So at one point during the overnight, I had my REM pod set up upstairs, and I'm like, okay, so I want this down here. So I sent Abby upstairs. The moment she went upstairs, my EMF detector started going off the charts. The REM pod started spazzing. Like as she's walking up the stairs, it's just going crazy. Everything that I have is going ballistic. And my spirit box, I was using it while she was upstairs, dies completely, like it was
Oh yeah.
drained.
Wow.
My EMF detector died. My EVP recorder died. It drained everything that it could. My phone even got drained.
Yeah. It was. I'm like, I don't want to go up there by myself. I was just like more terrified. He's like, no, 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 go up there. And I'm like, okay. And I go up there and I don't even hear anything. It's just very like dark. But like we had set up like there was all the toys in her room. We set them up and one of them had moved. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave. And I come back down. He's like, holy shit, all of the stuff died and it went crazy. I was like, oh my god, that's terrifying. Oh no.
Did you
Oh.
end up going in that closet? There was that one room with the bed and all that. Did you end up going into that closet at all? Because we had
I
some.
did. I actually sat in that closet by myself for a little bit. I sent her
Oh.
off to do whatever she wanted to, and I just sat in that closet. The lights are off. I have my EVP recorder, and I announced myself. I let it set. I don't know if I got anything from it. I haven't went through all of them, but there was somebody in there with me. Like I
Yeah.
could feel them there, and they did not want me in that room at all.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
See, that was the room that we had the cat ball go off. That we were all sitting in a circle in there, and it is it's not a big closet. I mean, it's not a small closet, but it's not big either. But when people are sitting in a circle, we had it go off in there. And also, my daughter, one of my oldest daughters, sat in there by herself, and for a while, and she said she literally she felt like really comfortable. Her personally, like something was like making her feel comfortable in there, like almost
Yeah.
like having their arms around her type thing. But as soon as I would come around or any of us, or any of the guys would come around, she said it felt like completely different, like it
Oh.
didn't want us there. So I mean, that's at least something that kids are kind of dialed into it more, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
So-
really
Yeah,
good
but
to target the child.
No, I'm sorry. So what else happened? Did you see anything? Like, did you go completely lights out? Did you keep the lights on?
I went completely lights out in the kitchen and downstairs while she was upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a night vision at all, but
Yep.
I had my camcorder set upstairs with the lights on, and I hear a thud upstairs, and my camcorder's knocked off on the ground. Like
Yeah.
something did not want me recording it at all.
Yeah. Well, the
But
recording
when I went
equipment
lights out,
went batty, like I can even recall in some of my recordings, it's like it was wobbling, like things I've never seen
yeah.
before, wobbling, batteries going low. I mean, it definitely messes with your equipment. That's for damn sure.
But I know when I went lights out, again, the kitchen, the epicenter of everything, in that doorway. Right as you walk in the front door,
Mhm.
So I saw 2 apparitions that night, 2 of them.
Okay.
One couldn't be, using Harmony as an example, it couldn't have been as tall as her.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like a little girl, for one.
Oh wow.
And then I saw a taller figure in the front doorway. Probably the apparition had to be about 6 foot,
Right.
but I don't know if it was a human apparition or an inhuman apparition, but he and I made eye contact. Like, he did not want me in that house.
That also reminds me too, Ian, when we were in the living room and we went to go check the kitchen, the door to the basement was slightly open. We're like, no one opened that. Like, that was opened by itself. That was really freaky that it
Yeah.
opened by itself like that.
Well, you don't know about this one, but I don't remember what you were doing. I think you were just watching the movie that we had playing in the living room.
Yeah.
And I went in the kitchen, and I did not tell you this because I didn't want to freak you out. The basement door was wide open.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Oh fuck that. Oh, fuck that. Oh,
It was
God.
wide open. I shut it because that's when you said, "Hey, what are you doing in the kitchen?" It's like, "Oh, nothing." The basement door
Thanks.
was wide open.
Oh God, it's so scary.
That's the big
Oh my
reveal,
God.
right? She didn't even know. Like, you finally revealed it.
Ugh.
Man.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I
even
feel like
tell
that
you
would
about
have
the.
freaked me out.
I didn't
Oh my
even
God.
tell you about the 2 apparitions that I saw.
Yeah, no, you didn't. That was a news to me. Oh my God.
Yeah. Man, that's wild. So you that there is something weird about that basement. I mean, I can't say it enough. I mean, just opening the door, you feel like something's
Yeah,
gonna come rushing at you, don't you? And it's not like you're
yeah.
afraid of a basement. I mean, I can look at a dark area. I've been in some pretty haunted places and I can go there at the end of rooms by myself, but it was a different feeling. When I opened that door, I felt for sure like it just felt like something was going to come bolting up the stairs at us. It really,
Yeah.
That was my fear when I was looking down the basement door. I was just worried that
yeah.
something was just gonna just like straight up spider crawl like you see in the horror movies and
Oh,
whatnot, just right up the stairs.
if that
So
happens, I'm done. Like, I'm done. If I physically
yeah,
see
no,
a spider crawling, I'm done, bro.
they can keep my money. I'm leaving. I'm not coming back. You can
Fuck
keep
that.
the equipment.
Yeah.
I
You
mean, I
can
think
keep
it's
my
funny that
underwear that I soiled and all of it, you know?
like the minute you told me about this haunted house and that the basement's off limits, I literally went, let's go down the basement.
Let's go to the
Like, I
basement.
did not
See,
care. I kept
see,
opening that door and just calling it out, be like, come and get me, bitch.
I wanted to be a bit of a rebel during the overnight, and I wanted to, just myself. I just wanted to go in the basement just to see what would happen. But
It's a good
I
thing you
had
didn't.
a voice in the back of my head say, "It's a bad idea. Don't do it."
I'm glad you listened to your voice finally in your head, like you're provoking, you know, but finally you talk yourself some sense into yourself and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna go downstairs.
Well,
That might not be a good
I was also doing a spirit box session at one point as well. It was
Yeah.
earlier in the day. I'm like, "Hey, should I go in the basement at night?" And I hear a male's voice say, "No."
Oh man.
idea.
Just clearly, nope, don't do it.
Here, I'll be right
What,
back.
what
Sorry.
happened when the owner came? So the owner obviously had to go downstairs to do the furnace or whatever. So what happened? Did anything happen after that? I mean, do you think they went down there and ignited a Ouija board and like, what if it was like a
Well,
nefarious
I
thing?
don't I don't know about that, but I know after he came in the house and he went down in the basement, something was really irritated after that
Yeah.
because it did not want anybody in the basement.
Yeah.
Because after he did that, that's when I started noticing the basement door would be open.
Right.
So
Yeah.
That was
whatever,
after he was there, right? Like all that
yeah,
stuff was happening.
after he was there, it stirred something in that basement because it was like it was restless.
Well, what was
Mhm.
he? What was he like? I mean, are the owners of the place nice or whatever? Like,
He
who
wasn't
is
he
it
wasn't
part of
that
the
bad of a
town?
guy. He thought we were there for a tour, and then I was like, "No, we're here for the overnight." And he's like, "Oh, good luck."
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. Well, how? I mean, so it's pretty fairly reasonable to stay overnight there. I mean, if you guys ever wanted to do an overnight there again, you know, I definitely join in with you guys on that too, and bring some people if you guys wanted to
Definitely.
split costs there. That'd be fun.
Hell yeah,
God,
that'd be
Oh,
he
yeah.
is
awesome.
speaking my language because I want to do another overnight, but I want to do one by myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Oh
keep
no,
telling him
No,
no. I
let's
keep
not.
telling him
no,
no.
you don't want to do that. No.
It's a terrible idea.
You're
Well,
gonna be the next missing person.
since you know the ghost hunter's telling me not to do it, I think I'm gonna take his advice.
Yeah, you probably should, bud. Jeez.
I wouldn't, man. The only reason I say that is this: maybe nothing would happen, but it seems like you've already kind of had or been a lightning rod for all this stuff, man. If you're alone there, who? And plus, I'm not saying that you're gonna get dragged off like the movies and stuff, but there are things that happen. I mean, I've been, when I was I tell the story all the time in the show, but I have been physically grabbed by something, grabbed on my ankle and pulled back.
Oh
I'm
my
telling
God.
you, if for whatever reason, however they can do that, there might be something, especially like at that place. If I don't know if the claims are true. I mean, like years ago on sightings, right in the '90s, when they had that original guy there, and he had like the scratches manifesting right in front of them. If that is
Yeah.
real, then that's completely like, man, I would totally suggest not doing it. You do it with more other people, go there more, go there with other people. That's what I would suggest to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems that I'm already attracting whatever's there, but from what my grandma used to tell me, it's been that way my entire life.
Yeah.
Things have always been drawn to me because they would hear me talking to somebody in my room all the time that was not there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know how far you guys are from like Villisca and all those, or from Lincoln, but man, I would love to get you guys on some more investigations with us.
I
Go
think
around with us.
I think Lincoln is just 4 hours from here.
Yeah, that's quite a drive, though, man. That's a little
Yeah.
ways.
Well, we the other day just drove 2 hours all the way to Springfield, Missouri to go
Yeah,
to the aquarium up there.
it's nice up there, man. It's you guys ever go to like Silver Dollar City or any of that?
I've always wanted to go to Silver Dollar City, but
Oh, it's
Never
the
really
best.
been there.
My grandparents lived down there, and I stayed with them a lot as a kid. So we had like season tickets. So I mean, I've been to Silver Dollar City like a ridiculous amount of time. But I would say it's the best, most beautiful, and the best amusement park in the country. I truly believe that. I mean, I haven't been
Oh,
to
that sounds
Disney,
cool.
but I'm sure that's awesome too. But I think Silver Dollar City is
Mhm.
legit.
Yeah, but no, I think back to the overnight. I think the worst things that happened was when I was trying to sleep.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah, yeah,
God.
that's what I
So
want to
Like
know.
bad.
Like, how does one even sleep or try to sleep? Like,
I fell asleep eventually, but
I was watching over him
I
as he slept. It was
I was getting messed up left and right.
yeah,
yeah.
Like I kept having like I guess night terrors when I'm still awake type
yeah,
Yeah.
experiences, like just flashes of things that they were showing me. They were all negative, and a lot of them I don't want to talk about because
yeah.
it was bad. And I had apparently my back was scratched up to all
Yeah.
hell.
It was so bad. Like,
Really?
when I was watching over him trying to, because I was like, I would almost think he was getting possessed, honestly, because he kept like jumping in his sleep or like looking around, and I'm like, hey, just it's okay, go to sleep. I'm right here. I'm watching you. And I'm just like, it's like quiet, like dead quiet in the house, and I'm just watching him like sleep, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can sleep. I managed to sleep, but like, man, it was really hard. And like, even like I could hear when it was like kind of in the morning, like maybe around like 5 or 6 in the morning. I swear they were taunting me. I was trying to. I was actually getting very terrified because I felt like I could just feel people like leaning over and watching me, and I could hear people walking up and down the stairs. I could hear people in the rooms, and it just actually terrified the fuck out of me.
Where
Oh
did
my
where
God.
did you guys sleep exactly? What rooms were they?
Well, we slept downstairs. I feel like sleeping downstairs would have been the safest bet
Yeah,
Yeah.
because all of the bad thing because there's again Pickman, I think that was his name. Yeah. The guy on sightings who got messed up by whatever was in there. Their bedroom was upstairs and he almost got pushed down the staircase. So I
yeah.
didn't want to run the risk of that happening.
Yeah.
I would have almost slept in that closet, to be honest with you. Like, if you ask me, that felt like the safest place in the damn house.
Yeah, you described your daughter saying she felt comfortable in there, like just a great comfort. I had the exact opposite reaction in that
Felt the
closet.
discomfort in there, yeah.
I felt discomfort. It got really hot in there when it shouldn't have because the air conditioner was on upstairs. It was colder than hell up there. But that
Yeah.
closet was just hot. I was sweaty.
Well, there's like a deal when that in that one closet where you could kind of like, I mean, like a kid could like lay under there. You know what I mean? That's like a weird, you know what I'm talking about? There's like that
Yeah,
weird space underneath, and I remember like sitting in that room and just kind of like chilling under there to see. I mean, maybe that's a good spot to say. I don't think there's anywhere safe to sleep in that house, but thank God you didn't
Oh.
plan to
no.
like sleep in the kitchen or something. That would be weird.
Oh, that would be
That
terrifying. I would not.
that house was just a battleground at night. Like,
Yeah. It was
although
ruthless.
we did get a friendly encounter
Oh
there, which
yeah.
I did not expect. He said his name was John, I think,
Hmm.
and he was being awfully nice. He's like, "You guys, I think I heard you're nice or welcome
Yeah.
over the spirit box a few times."
Yeah. So you actually had it. There's something new. There's something people can know if they're going to go to the Sallie House, is that there's a positive ghost possibly there, right? Somebody who
Mhm.
is
Well,
welcome.
there's multiple positive ghosts. It's just John was the one who was talking, but I got when I was using the spirit box downstairs by myself, I heard we're scared. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I asked, who are you scared of? And they said, the black one.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that made me think, what if that's another entity that's there that they're describing? Because
right.
Harmony thought the first time we were there that they were talking about me.
Yeah.
But I kept asking, who's scaring you? And I kept hearing the black one. He's coming. The
Yeah.
black one. He's
Yeah.
here.
Like
Yeah, it's
I
kind of some things it said when I was there too.
I used the spirit box briefly and I actually got some like responses like when we were I asked them are you afraid of the basement? They're like, yeah, and then like, are you afraid and I said, why are you afraid? And it just said Satan. And I was like, oh God, okay.
Ooh.
And it was just it was insane. I'm trying to look at my notes that I got, like, and then we
We'll
asked
keep it.
like, oh
We
sorry.
won't mention the gamer word at all. We're
Yeah,
gonna keep
no.
that.
Yeah. It's probably best we don't, so that I don't get booted off of the internet or canceled or something.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that to happen.
I have enough. It's hard enough, man. It's hard enough to be a podcaster and to be a person who does a lot of content and everything in general. But this is great stuff, though. People are gonna dig this stuff, especially for this month, me reviving the paranormal show for a month. It's people are gonna dig this. So
Mhm.
Well, I mean, what a good way to start off the paranormal show with, the long-awaited Sallie House interview.
yeah, because I've been blabbing about it for a while, off and on. I've been mentioning, teasing it, mentioning it, because the funny thing about my show is that even though I got away from the paranormal show just to kind of like talk to other people too, I still talk roughly about ghosts. I would say 80% of the times.
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw that you interviewed a medium Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did, and I
oh,
have another medium coming on named Dean, the military medium out of North Dakota. And yeah, man, you should tune into those. I got a guy who tracks Bigfoot coming on
Oh,
in
that's cool.
Pennsylvania. I've got all sorts of stuff. I did an investigation in Lincoln, and I talked to a girl about the haunting at their house. So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. Also, to the final kicker on Halloween will be Johnny Hauser, the guy who runs Velisca Axe Murder House. I got him on, and he's going to be telling us all the secrets for Velisca. So
Oh, that's
you
so
got to check
cool.
that one
I'm
out.
tuning into that one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
same.
it's
That
going to be
sounds
a
so
heck of an
cool.
ending.
Oh my God.
Imagine staying the night on a haunted house on Halloween.
Oh God.
See, that's when I like to think that on Halloween the veil is at its thinnest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Because you
yeah.
notice that when all of these paranormal shows, they do a special on Halloween all the time,
Right.
and they get the most evidence they have ever had, unless you're Taps.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
do you remember those though? Those live ones were the best, but it was like, man, there was
God,
like a lot of nothing happening the whole time.
Yeah.
I do not like them at all because every episode they're like, man, we're just two plumbers during the day, but at night we're ghost hunters. I was like, but on the long running show that you had, you got maybe two pieces of evidence that were debunked.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can't really trust you. But then these new guys come into the field, Q, Zach Bagans and his crew, and I'm like, this is
Okay.
different. They're
This is
actually getting
cool.
evidence, and they don't have a big camera crew. It's just him and his
Yeah.
buddies, of course.
Hmm.
And I'm like, you guys are better than Taps. I'm sorry, I just don't like Taps. I'm very biased against them.
Well, I think like paranormal people, like investigators, they tend to like I said, they tend to like ghost hunters better, Taps, because that's what it usually is like. A lot of this stuff
Yeah.
that you investigate is like, zero things happen. You go through, hours and hours of audio and video with nothing. And I mean, I don't go into a place ever expecting to absolutely
Oh
catch
no,
anything. I would think that's ridiculous. But the Sallie House is different. You go there. I mean,
you're
I'm pretty sure you're going to get something.
if you go, I will tell this to anybody who watches this. If you go to the Sallie House, you're most likely going to get something happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering there's most likely a demonic entity there. Like,
I don't think there was
especially
just one
imagine
demonic
going
entity.
there around Halloween, because that's typically when, you're most likely gonna get the most activity. That's just kind of a known thing. Like, a lot of bad stuff happens on Halloween.
Jeez.
So I would not recommend going.
Well, I talked
Yeah,
to
no,
Ed the
definitely.
Pagan, Ed the Witch, and he was telling me that, Halloween and this month in particular is super strong because of how strong the moon's going to be. We're going to there's going to be an eclipse this month. We got Friday the 13th
Heck
coming
yeah.
up. I mean, we this is a
Yeah.
big month, man. This could be the craziest Halloween month in years. You know what I mean? And there's lots of stuff popping off throughout the world too, which makes you think that like there's a weird negativity going on.
Oh yeah.
I know what I'm doing then this Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna hide under my blanket the whole time.
I might watch
I'm gonna
movies, but I also I mentioned this. I stupidly am like, oh hey look, they're selling the Ouija board. Let's buy it, and I did, and
No.
I'm like, oh, I could try that on Halloween. That would be cool.
You guys didn't try one at the Sallie House, did you?
No, you're not allowed to
No,
bring
we're
one.
not
not allowed.
allowed to bring one of those into the
Oh,
Sallie
I
House.
guarantee
and-
somebody stayed the night there and popped a Ouija board or two in that.
Oh, I bet they did.
Guaranteed.
They don't-
Yeah.
There's no way I don't think they have cameras in that house because that would be weird. Just watching
Yeah.
people walk
It
around
would.
and
No, yeah. Do you remember when we all first went there at the end of it when we were like writing in that journal thing? And
Mhm.
Yeah.
Abby, you had mentioned
Yeah.
that you had the Ouija board, you were gonna use it later tonight.
Oh,
And I
God.
heard over the speaker box it was like cult.
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
it was like,
oh,
yeah, like a laugh.
it was like,
a
yeah,
deep
menacing laugh.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh God.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe don't do that.
All I can say is just be careful, like
Yeah.
I don't use them and I don't promote them or anything, but if you are going to use them, just be careful. And I guess
Mhm.
what they say is make sure to close it out at the end. Close your session.
Oh, yeah, no.
You say
Never
hello.
leave it open.
You say hello, and you say goodbye. You always
Yeah.
separate the planchette from the board. You
Yeah.
never want those two touching because you may have said hello and goodbye, but
Exactly.
the residual energy can still build up in the planchette, and it can reopen the portal.
Exactly.
So,
Well, I like all good things, everybody. As much as I'd love to do another interview with you guys here in the near future. If you want to, I definitely want to do an overnight with you guys sometime or do some investigating if you want to as well. But unfortunately, we're running out of time here. So I really do appreciate you guys so much for being on here. It's hard to herd, for lack of a better term, multiple people into an interview, but we got it done. And I thank you guys so much. I know you're all busy with work and everything. Thank you.
oh
Oh,
yeah,
no.
no
Thank
Our
you for
own
having
personal
me.
hell.
For having us, I should say.
Yeah. Well, you know, in closing, I'm glad that I met you guys. I'm glad that we're, you know, new friends. I don't believe in coincidences, and thank you guys so much for the interview. It's been a pleasure.
It's
yeah.
been an honor being on here.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
look
Yeah,
forward to our next
really
interview.
appreciate it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, continue to tune in, everybody, and thank you guys. And I will talk to you guys soon. Okay.
Yes,
Alright.
sir. See you later.
Later.
Bye.
See ya.